Okay, I'm just gonna start from the top. How are you planning for the new year?
So I put together what I call it's a 411. And so it's broken down from 1 year goal, 1 month goal, 4 weeks in that month. And so it's taking a look at the year goal. And I have 3 sections of it broken out. I have the personal section, the business section, and then the growth section. So what do I want to achieve this year for my goal? And then break that down into what do I need to do this month in order to achieve that? And then what needs to happen every single week this month or every single week to then achieve the month goal that will then bring me a step closer to the year goal. So that's the system that I use, and I'm consistently improving that because I do have some really big goals, and I realize that, okay, these are going to take a little bit more attention than I thought. So I've even added like a quarter in there. So like year, quarter, month, and then weeks, so that I can keep trackable goals and then I can measure them. So in a like just super nutshell, that's what I do to plan. And it's figuring out like formulas, like if I want to hit so many units, or if I want to hit, a volume number, or if I want to hit a net income number, it's figuring out, okay, what does that actually look like? Is that manageable? Do I have the people and systems in place to do that? And then putting it pen to paper, right?
Honestly, I've been doing the exact same thing. And one of my friends who's with Keller Williams, he was telling me about this 411 thing. And I was like, oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. I just don't have like a cool name. But honestly, what I've been focusing on for like planning for the new year is I looked back. Every year I look back, okay, at each transaction, how did I get this person? And last year, like literally almost every single person came from social media in some sense. And so now I was kind of planning on, and I was feeling a little bit frustrated on my plan because I'm like, well, I want to do XYZ. I've been saying I want to do XYZ. And I was like feeling frustrated about it. And then I'm like, you know what? This is working. What I'm doing is working, and I need to go probably all in and do some more, and I'm just going to roll with that. So I feel like a lot of people feel frustrated and overwhelmed because there are so many different ways to generate business, right? And it can be so overwhelming, but it's like, just focus on the 5 things that you enjoy and go in on those 5 things that you enjoy instead of bringing in some other things that you're kind of dreading and you might not meet those goals. Does that make sense?
For sure. So the way that I look at that is going deep with your goals instead of wide.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see. How do you keep yourself accountable? We got these goals.
Well, that is a great goal, or that is a great question, I mean. And if you're a goal-oriented person, right, you're already setting your goals up with measurable steps. So I know that I need to call so many people to get to so many appointments to then get to so many closings and so on.
Mm-hmm. What I've been doing is seriously planning because, if you're doing this full time, it's so freaking easy to get distracted. And I would have like this to-do list every day. And then I'm like, hey, I got all day to do this, right? And so I've now, and it's been so helpful, planning the night before, and literally like every day is so different, right? I can't do the same schedule every single day. So the night before, I've been planning my next day. I've been plugging in like those appointments that are at different times and different places, plugging those in because I know I have to be at these places at certain times. And then I plug in, I'm time block. Okay, well, for this hour, I'm going to make these contacts. For this hour, I'm going to do this marketing. And I'm setting myself up the night before. And I wrote out my yearly, monthly, weekly, daily goals, and I'm looking, okay, for this week, like I still need to do X, and looking at it that way, like starting out the night before has been really helpful for me.
Definitely. I totally do that too. So I have transitioned this fourth quarter to having a paper calendar.
Yeah.
And an electronic. Obviously, I have my Google Calendar, right? I like to track how many calls have I made, how many connects have I had, how many appointments did I set, and then look at that week. I have all of the numbers in front of me in one planner to do that. And so I agree with you 100%. It's taking a look at the numbers, like I'll do it tonight, like reflecting on, okay, what was my win today? What was my opportunity? And what did I say I was going to do that is a priority that I didn't do that must carry over to tomorrow?
Yeah.
So doing a reflection tonight of the day, and then also, okay, let me plan out my day now. I do it at the beginning of the week. I reflect on my 411 every single Sunday and put those big rocks on my calendar. So if there's one thing that gets done today, it's my big rock. It's either lead generating or lead follow-up or closings, appointments, whatever, open houses, whatever it is. So I always look at it like, if nothing else happens today, what's the one thing that I can do where it's like, okay, I won today.
Yeah.
And so it's reflecting on that calendar on Sunday and then every single day of the week too, just like you said.
Yeah. I've been mentioning to a couple people how I've been doing this. I've been implementing this whole like planning my next day the night before. And I've heard some people say like, oh, it's so time consuming to do that. I'm like, shoot, do you want to be successful? This is what you have to do. You have to plan. You got to set yourself up. And if I really want to hit these goals and be successful, I can't just have this to-do list and think, okay, I got all day to do this. I've got to time block it. And we all spend so much time like watching TV, scrolling on social media. If you just took that 15 minutes to set your business up for the next day, like you got time. I bet you have time.
Yeah. Fail to plan, plan to fail, right?
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm busy and I have appointments at night and I've got dinner and all these other things, but I'm like, this is my goal. I set these goals. This is my business. I'm gonna take 15 minutes to time block my next day because we're entrepreneurs. It's so easy to be distracted. I mean, that's been my problem.
Yeah. No, I can definitely agree with that. It all comes down to, what are you going to do that you said that you were going to do and planning for it, right? Not letting it just go to the wayside because let's face it, a lot of those not so sexy activities are actually money producing activities like lead generating and lead follow-up, door knocking. But if those things aren't on my calendar, if I'm not planning for them in advance, guess what? They're not going to make it to my priority list because I'd rather do 101 things before doing any of those.
Right.
Yes. Those are going to make me money.
Okay, here's the next question. How to stay motivated when you feel burned out or reach a slowdown because of the holidays?
So when it comes down to staying accountable to my goals, and especially with holidays, and I mean, let's face it, if you guys are like me, you're probably getting invited to Christmas parties, Secret Santa, like decorating, just like different things. There's just 101 things going on right now, especially as we approach the holidays. And so I really pick and choose what's a priority for me. And so again, it's sticking to my one thing, which is, setting an appointment or whatever that actually is for that week, whatever my big goal is. If I haven't hit it yet, then I need to spend a little bit more time before I earn the right to go to that Christmas party or whatever it is. So keeping my goals in front of me is super big. What I do is once I have my 411 totally completed, I have it a few different places. It stays up on my Google Drive, which is a tab that's open on my computer so that it's consistently in front of me. My Win by Noon journal, I have it taped inside of the front flap so that every time that I pull it open, my goals are always in front of me, front and center.